Well, for my next video, I'm going to go back to making a little cabinet with drawers. I've been looking at different types of shapes to try to make the drawers like, I did the hearts. So I'm going to use a Celtic knot. And to make it work right, I'm going to have to put it what some people would consider upside down, although they'll tell you online there's no true orientation because it's symmetrical. Anyway, I'm going to have three arranged like that. And what I've got here, I got to finish building the blank. This is a blank that I had built for something else that I didn't use. It was this much longer. So I needed a 7.5 by 4.5 inch blank. So I cut this piece off and ripped that out of it. And I'm going to glue it right here. And I got these other pieces I'm going to glue right here. I need another layer. So this is going to give me the next layer. And this is going to be the back. I'll have a backing plate on it. So none of that will be showing except for the end grains, which kind of gives it a little pattern on the edge sometime that looks nice. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start gluing. I'm going to glue this one on and get it set in place and straightened and flattened out, and then I'll take each one and glue them on one at a time and get it lined out. May have to do some trimming on the saw if I get it off a little bit. I've got a little extra space there. Gave myself a little extra so that I could maybe plane it or sand it if I needed to. So I'm going to start gluing this, and then I'll get the pattern lined out on it and see if I can make it look the way I want to. Okay, so I got the blank done. It came out pretty nicely. I just had to sand the back side of it a little bit to get it nice and level. Wasn't too bad. So I mounted these patterns. I worked with this, just pencil and paper and ruler and compass and round things to get some curves. Lined these out, wanted a specific distance, minimum distance between the drawers and the edges. And I didn't want just a block. I wanted these to be the resting points, more or less, where it sits. You saw I got this piece of backing glued on, and it's glued in the corners. And when I cut it, it'll come loose. And I'm going to cut the outline first, and then that'll come off, and then I'll come in and cut these drawers. And I'm going to also cut, I got another one of these patterns. I got me some 16th inch Baltic birch plywood. I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to layer 3 pieces and cut 3 of them out to mount on the face of the drawer. And I went with Baltic birch because that might get a little delicate on the thin wood, just a regular wood. Especially anything I have up there is going to be kind of brittle in a 16th. I wanted a very thin overlay there. So that's my plan. I got enough 16-inch Baltic birch I can stack and cut 3 of these at once. And I'm going to stain them a little darker to get a contrast and glue them to the front of the drawer. At least that's the plan right now. So the first step is to cut this outline. Now I got these, maybe hard to see, I got them curved around, everything. Not going to be any corners on it. I'm going to try to round it all off. So I'm going to go with the number 12 skip tooth. I got to get one in the machine, and then I'll start cutting this outline. Okay, I've got 3 pieces of 16th inch Baltic birch stacked together here. I'm using that because that's going to be rather fragile when I cut it. I'm afraid. I'm not even sure this is going to make it, but I'm going to try it. And I got a number 3 blade in there. And I'm going to try to make these internal cuts and then cut the outside, see if I'm going to stain it to get a contrast if it comes out without breaking. It should, but it's still going to be rather fragile, so I'll just have to see. So once again, I've reached the point where I'm calling it done. I think this worked well. These didn't break. They're still kind of fragile, but that plywood held together. I got these little deals in the center there. That's actually a piece of 1/4-inch cedar that I cut. Just kind of helped make a little drawer pull there. And I had to sand it a little bit to get them to fit. I wanted it to be a snug fit, and I made it work. And so the drawers work really well. I had to do a lot of sanding to get those to work, because it's an odd shape and I wanted to bind in different places, but I made it work. So it's kind of an unusual little thing. I guess it shows the state of my mind. I'm kind of an unusual person. Anyway, I hope you like that. If you do, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. And I've got some more ideas. I just kind of taken my time, put them together, make sure I can make them work. There were many times through this project I just thought this is not going to work, but I do that on almost every project. There's times in there where it looks like it's just going to be too rough, it's not going to fit right, and it's not going to look good, but I always manage to come through in the end. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.